This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on the South Today, a coach to young southern swimmers says some of them have the potential to compete at the Olympics. Mates in Construction is a new industry-based organisation helping workers share their feelings. And southern beaches could be closed from time to time to help protect endangered bird life. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Sophie Morris. Dunedin swim coach Lars Humer says the uncertainty of the Olympic Games isn't affecting his training program. Although questions remain about the Games, Humer says there are several other international competitive events for New Zealand's young swimmers to plan and prepare for.
Dunedin's competitive swimmers are back in the pool, with at least 3 of them planning for next year's Olympics in Tokyo. But their coach Lars Humer says the possibility of next year's big event in Japan isn't on the top of his mind, with plenty of other swimming events to train for.
Hey, we all want to go to the Olympics and we're hoping that it's going to be on, but we also know that if it's not possible, then we've got a lot of other events to prepare for, even locally, like New Zealand champs and things. And even if the Olympics do go ahead, if we don't swim fast at the New Zealand champs next year, then we don't trigger a nomination to go to the Olympics. So we've got parts of the process that we have to get right before there anyway.
Humer, who was also New Zealand's head coach for the Games, says the late cancellation of this year's Olympics in Tokyo with only 4 months to go was unsettling.
When it looked like the Olympics were going to be postponed, but no one was making the call due to a lot of bureaucracy and politics, that was a tough time. I think once the decision was made, whilst disappointing, at least we knew where we were, and I think when you know where you're going, then you can replan and reset, and that's not necessarily comforting, but at least we know where we're going, what we're doing and why.
Dunedin swimmers have been back in the water for 9 weeks, receiving tips from Humer and assistant coach Kurt Crosland, with 3 young women being contenders for the Olympics, where a delay of a year will see them older, more experienced and theoretically better.
And we do have 3 girls that are on the Olympic long list at the moment. So we have Kira Smith, who's from Northland originally, but down here doing university, Caitlin Deans, local girl, and Erica Fairweather, local girl. And we want to build on that in the future as well.
Humer is quick to point out that while the life of swimmers is disciplined with early morning starts, they are not deprived of a normal life.
And whilst they have a different lifestyle and slightly different hours that they keep, they also have the opportunity to be exceptional people in terms of their dedication towards the sport that carries on really well into school, university. And I talk to former swimmers now. We have some parents who were swimmers, maybe not quite back in my day, but head in that direction, who have now their kids in the program and really value some of the discipline and the dedication and the commitment that's required in swimming, and it carries into other walks of life.
Humer is set to become more involved with other swimmers across the country once the squad is selected next year. In Dunedin, the South Today.
The man charged with the murder of his wife in Te Anau in May has entered a not guilty plea. 52-year-old Rodney Stewart Fallowfield appeared by audiovisual link in the High Court at Invercargill today, facing a charge of murder. The Otago Daily Times understands Fallowfield and Shirley Elena Reedy had only been married a matter of months before he allegedly murdered her. Justice Manda remanded him in custody until his next appearance in September. Police started a homicide investigation after the body of Ms. Reedy was found at a Te Anau address on May 15th. A new organisation is on a mission to encourage people working in the construction industry to talk about mental health. Representatives from Auckland-based company Mates in Construction visited workers at the site of Dunedin's hospital build, and a warning, the story does deal with the topic of suicide.
A group featuring construction workers who've gone through their own mental health struggles are banding together to grow a supportive network of peers looking out for each other.
Most of the time that we had the responses where, you know, where have you guys been for so long, just for the construction industry, just to get that kind of support that they need.
Slade McFarlane says they received a great welcome from workers at the Dunedin Hospital construction site. He says in an ideal world, men would openly talk about their feelings, which could have helped him when he was younger.
Yeah, I contemplated suicide when I was, you know, in my late 30s, but I needed help, and I think my GP actually offered me tablets, but I didn't want tablets. I actually wanted someone to talk to. So 2.5 years of therapy, and this is where I've come out, and I'm just trying to share the story with the guys that are out there.
Mates in Construction Field Officer Richie Heppy says as well as speaking with construction workers across the country, part of their role is to select people who can look out for their workmates as well.
They can identify when somebody's struggling. They become more alert on site, you know, when people are, you know, not travelling too good. So that they can see these signs, and we call them invitations, and basically just have a conversation with them, see that they're travelling good, and how they can support them, what they can do to help.
Heppy spent time as a carpenter and as a youth worker helping rangatahi find purpose. He says the impact of COVID-19 on the construction industry has been devastating, with a lot more sad people around.
Look at the construction industry, you know, you work from stupid o'clock to stupid o'clock, six days a week, maybe 7 even now, we don't got to make up the time type of thing. So that puts a whole lot of different sort of pressures on family, relationships, finances, all that type of thing. So yeah, there's some people that are really hurting out there, and that's why we're here. That's why we're here to alleviate some of that pain and to give people some tools to be able to navigate to find places where they can get that support.
The blokes say Mates in Construction's main focus is to reduce stigma about talking about mental health, to provide on-site leadership, and to build a stronger and resilient workforce. If you work in the industry and need help, their number is on the screen. In Dunedin, the South Today.
A Dunedin woman has started a petition which has already gathered more than 13,000 signatures. The petition calls for the government to fully fund the financially stretched St John ambulance service. Currently, St John is facing a post-lockdown financial hole. The organisation is having to restructure to save more than $30 million in costs. The person who started the petition says her children have been in ambulances several times due to broken bones and serious allergic reactions. It's hoped that the petition will attract at least 100,000 signatures. Seasonal closures of beaches may be required to save yellow-eyed penguins from extinction. A University of Otago study found that humans walking along some beaches affected the ability of adult penguins to feed their chicks.
Beachgoers may be asked to stay clear of certain coastal areas, such as Dunedin's Sandfly Bay, during the summer. University of Otago Professor Yolanda Van Hazek says a 5-year trial closure of the nearby Boulder Beach had a positive effect on the survival of yellow-eyed penguin chicks, and it proved that people walking along the beach can affect how adults feed their chicks.
They're not very aware of how kind of shy these particular penguins are, and you know, if you're on the beach and the penguin is in the water trying to get back to its nest and to feed its chicks, then the penguin won't come out of the water. It'll wait until the beach is empty. And of course penguins feed their chicks by regurgitation, so the longer the penguin is sitting out in the water, then it's essentially digesting the meal that it's really bringing home to give to its chicks, so the chicks end up with a smaller meal.
She says people walking dogs on the beach are often unaware the impact a dog on the loose can have on endangered birds sheltering in the sand dunes.
Often people are unaware that when their dog sort of disappears off into the dunes, that's what the dog is doing. So the dog can go grab a penguin and either kill it or damage it and be back with the owner, and the owner has no idea that that's happened.
Professor Van Hazek says the closure of yellow-eyed penguin beaches would only really be needed during the summer months, and it's time for New Zealanders to lead the way in respecting endangered wildlife.
It would be nice to think that domestic tourists should have a bigger sense of ownership for these yellow-eyed penguins. They're only found in New Zealand. They're almost the rarest penguin in the world, And you'd like to think that they had a sense of kaitiaki or guardianship over them, and would behave responsibly at sites, and also be role models, I guess, for how you should be behaving around penguin colonies.
Professor Van Hazik says she understands the Department of Conservation would need to apply to the Conservation Minister to close beaches for the protection of wildlife. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today, we hear southern attitudes towards the upcoming national election.
All new episodes of Put Some Colour in Your Life are now screening on Channel 39. Take a look at Australian artists and the techniques they use in their studio. Put Some Colour in Your Life, Tuesdays, 7:30.
Hi, Lindsay Campbell. We're back in Invercargill again. We're here for a month. We've got a men's fashion clearance at up to 70% off. We're right beside the motorcycle Mecca. Check them out too. Jackets, lovely knitwear, scarves, hats, you name it, we'll keep you warm. Come and see us at the menswear fashion clearance pop-up.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
That's the Alex Campbell Menswear pop-up store in Invercargill.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
You've seen us in the street, now find us online. Check out shopon.org.nz. We have all sorts of treasures, from retro and vintage clothing to antiques, homewares and accessories. New items added every week. We're open 24/7.
Wrens are Otago's painting, tiling and plastering experts. Offering a free measure and quote, Wrens is a name you can trust to get the job done right. Call Wrens today on 477 9384 or visit wrens.co.nz.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality, stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
Do you know Youth Grow in North East Valley? It's an awesome plant nursery where young people can work and learn life skills. You can now order your vegetable seedlings, herbs, bulbs and shrubs over the phone or by email. Either pick up your order on Norwood Street in North East Valley or they can deliver to you. Look for Youth Grow Garden Centre on Facebook or visit youthgrow.org.nz. Happy gardening!
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Sent Pet Cremations knows that losing a pet is like losing a family member, and we have many special ways for you to keep their memory dear to your heart. From caskets, remembrance pendants to remembrance spheres. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today.
Welcome back. Visual journalist Craig Baxter and Otago Daily Times reporter Daisy Hudson travelled through the South recently to gauge attitudes towards the upcoming national election. Tonight we play you the first of 5 instalments of their journey.
So, stop one on our week-long road trip around the South. We've arrived here in Ranfurly, where we've been catching up with some locals about the big issues in town. They say they've been surprisingly well insulated from the effects of COVID-19, primarily because just the rural nature of the town. They have had a bit of a hit with the lack of tourists, but definitely not feeling the impacts like some of the bigger centres around the south. How was COVID in Ranfurly? What was that time like here, and what's the impact been?
Well, for us it was pretty stressful for our staff, but overall I think for our community it was there wasn't too much of an impact, because with being a farming based community a lot of the stores were still open and we didn't have the same issue with redundancies that other places have had, so we were quite insulated, I guess, from that point of view.
And how has the tourism industry been here?
We missed out on our rail trail tourism through that March-April period, but since the stages have opened back up, we have had quite a bit of internal tourism, and especially with the school holidays now, there's lots of people coming through, which is great.
So we've made it to our second stop of the Southern Road Trip, which is the lovely and sunny seaside town of Moeraki. Hearing pretty positive signs from people here actually, you know, saying that tourism has really kind of come back with a vengeance. Kiwis are getting out and, you know, seeing their own backyard. So it's sounding pretty positive here so far.
So as far as the government knows, I just feel people are either Labour or National. And it wouldn't matter if we were all going to sink down a plug hole. They would still vote for the one that's bred into them to vote for. That's how I feel about it. But with me in the restaurant, since we opened probably a couple of hundred or more a day, they're aware of the economy, but it is not their primary concern. Their health and well-being. It used to be health, wealth and well-being, but their well-being is the primary, everything to them is that 5 million of us survive. Whatever our life might change to, and we all know it will be different. Everyone's pretty happy that they would like to go back how it was a few generations ago, or 2 generations ago, and are really, really enjoying a quieter life.
We're about to jump in the car and head off to our stop for the night, which is Oamaru. Well, I mean, what do you think the big election issue is going to be this year?
Well, we're really talking the cannabis thing, we're talking the end of life reform, and obviously all the kids in the biggest kindergarten in all of New Zealand at the moment, which is Parliament. Yeah.
You can see the next instalment of their journey online tomorrow at odt.co.nz. After the break on the South Today, we meet a 5-year-old excited for the beginning of his schooling in Dunedin, and we check out tomorrow's weather.
All new episodes of Put Some Colour in Your Life are now screening on Channel 39. Take a look at Australian artists and the techniques they use in their studio. Put Some Colour in Your Life, Tuesdays, 7:30.
Hi, Lindsay Campbell. We're back in Invercargill again. We're here for a month. We've got a men's fashion clearance and up to 70% off. We're right beside the motorcycle Mecca. Check them out too. Jackets, lovely knitwear, scarves, hats, you name it, we'll keep you warm. Come and see us at the menswear fashion clearance pop-up.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
That's the Alex Campbell Menswear pop-up store in Invercargill.
Garage Dunedin, delivering quality, stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garage quality service. Garage Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
Heaven Sent Pet Cremations knows that losing a pet is like losing a family member, and we have many special ways for you to keep their memory dear to your heart. From caskets, remembrance pendants to remembrance spheres. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today.
Shall I make some scones?
Wrens are Otago's painting, tiling and plastering experts. Offering a free measure and quote, Wrens is a name you can trust to get the job done right. Call Wrens today on 477 9384 or visit wrens.co.nz.
Do you know Youth Grow in North East Valley? It's an awesome plant nursery where young people can work and learn life skills. You can now order your vegetable seedlings, herbs, bulbs and shrubs over the phone or by email. Either pick up your order on Norwood Street in North East Valley or they can deliver to you. Look for Youth Grow Garden Centre on Facebook or visit youthgrow.org.nz. Happy gardening!
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Step into Shop on Carroll and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
Welcome back. Yesterday was an emotional day for Dunedin's Bex Finch when her 5-year-old son Harry went to school for the first time. Harry was born with cerebral palsy, but that's not going to hold him back in life.
5-year-old Harry Finch has had his first day at school. It's a major step for a youngster who was born with spastic diplegia cerebral palsy and last year underwent surgery in the United States to help release muscle tension in his legs so he can sometimes walk on his own using a frame.
I mean, all mums go on a journey, right? And then you think of your kids as being little babies, but then 5 years goes so incredibly fast. And then I thought, oh, I'll be fine, you know, I won't be that emotional. And then as soon as I arrived here at school, it just, this overwhelming feeling come on me, and then I just couldn't stop crying. And actually a friend said to me, oh, it's that cold, you got tears in your eyes. I said, oh no, they're actually real tears.
Despite it being a new chapter in his life, Harry's mother knew her son would be in safe hands.
It's such an incredible school. Like, the teachers are just amazing. Like, I'm not worried about any of that. Like, I know they're going to be so well supported. Harry's going to be really looked after. It's just it's a different chapter.
Thanks to local fundraising, Harry was able to undergo spinal surgery in the United States last year. And his mother says further surgeries are on the horizon for the brave young boy.
Sometimes it feels like it's one step forward, 2 steps back. Like, a year ago we had that surgery and that was going really well, we're on track, and then now he's got to get his hips done, so that puts him back a bit again, which is fine because in the long run it is going to be really positive for him.
Harry's surgery on both hips could happen as early as next month. In Dunedin, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. A coach to young southern swimmers says some of them have potential to swim at the Olympics from what he's seen in the pool. Mates in Construction is a new industry-based organisation helping workers share their feelings to try and reduce the industry's suicide rates. And southern beaches could be closed from time to time to help endangered bird life, as experts believe humans intrude too much on their habitats. And time now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Hayden.
Good evening, Sophie. How are you?
Good evening. Very good. Yourself?
Excellent. All sorts of good stuff in tomorrow. The lead story at this stage is about the Central Otago Maternity Hub. A huge story for that region. The Southern District Health Board has put together 4 options for the future of the hub, and it looks like Clyde ticks the most boxes at this point in time, so we'll have some reaction from the people up there. And then a series of really lovely yarns, really. We've got a 14-year-old girl in Oamaru who helped save her family from a fire overnight. We've got a bus driver at Waitahuna School retiring after 40 years behind the wheel, which is outstanding. And Tapi Dyak, the legendary Otago rugby figure, is turning 90. So we have a good old chat to Tapi to look back on the highs and lows of his career. So all sorts of good stuff.
All right, well, thank you, Hayden. All of that and more in tomorrow's ODT. And time now for a look at the weather.
Night's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Starting with the city view, shipping containers being shunted into position in the Dunedin rail yards. Looking at the situation, a cold southwesterly airflow blows over southern districts till the end of the week, with snow showers to low levels tomorrow and Thursday. Starting off at the northwest of the South Island, Greymouth and Westport are looking at mostly cloudy skies, persistent showers and 11 degrees. Across to the northeast, Nelson and Blenheim can expect cloudy skies with 13 degrees. Moving down to Canterbury, it will be cloudy with showers for Kaikoura, cloudy for Christchurch and Ashburton, with all centres heading for 9 degrees. To the southern towns, plan for strong southwesterlies and snow showers to low levels. The Catlins, Balclutha, Lumsden and Gore are all set for 5 degree highs. And central, expect gusty southwesterlies and snow showers. Wanaka and Queenstown head for 5 degrees, Alexandra 6 degrees and Te Anau 5. To the northern towns, on the coast, Timaru and Te Wamaru can expect fresh southwesterlies with showers clearing, 9 for Timaru and 8 in Oamaru. Inland, those in Twizel and Omarama can plan for gusty southwesterlies, mostly fine skies with 6 degrees. In Dunedin, showers tonight with an overnight low of 3, cloudy with showers tomorrow, a high of 7 and a low of 3. Snow flurries to 200 metres on the hills on Thursday, with very cold southwesterlies, a high of 6 and a low of 2. And in Invercargill, wintry showers tonight with an overnight low of 2. Sleet and hail showers developing at night tomorrow, looking at a high of 6 and a low of 1. Wintry showers are clearing slowly during the day on Thursday with strong, very cold southwesterlies, a high of 5 and a low of 1. That's all for our news this Tuesday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz or follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.